and pass into the soil. If enough rain is falling, water will pass through the soil and reach the rock beneath. We are used to the idea that soil absorbs water. But what about rocks? What happens when water hits rock depends on the nature of the rock. If it's made up of grains, like this sandstone, with spaces in between which are connected, then water will pass through and the rock is said to be permeable. It's not just sandstones that are permeable. Chalk, made up of the remains of countless tiny shells, is also permeable, mainly because there are cracks in the rock, and water can move through even the tiniest crack. The percentage of the rock that's made up of spaces is known as the rock's porosity. The porosity of sandstone can be 20% or more, which means that a cubic metre of rock, say the size of a large fridge, can absorb 200 or more litres of water. Water that has passed through the soil will continue to move down through the underlying rock until it reaches a level where all the pore spaces are full. This level is called the water table. Water moving in the rock below the water table is called groundwater. Layers of rock that are permeable and allow a significant amount of water to flow through them are called aquifers. Rain that falls on the land makes its way to the water table. In a normal year, most of that water will do so as a result of the rains in winter. Because of the time it takes for the water to reach the water table, any rise won't be seen until later in the winter or even early spring. The water table tends to be at its highest in spring, falling to its lowest level in the summer or early autumn. The shape of the water table follows that of the ground surface. Groundwater flows from areas where the water table is high to areas where it's low. When the water table meets the ground surface, water leaves the rock, either as a spring or by seeping directly into rivers. The time the groundwater takes to travel to the river will depend on how permeable the rock is and on whether it follows a shallow or a deep path. Either way, it can be in the ground for a long time, from months up to centuries in some cases. So now we see how groundwater helps to keep our rivers flowing. This is particularly true in areas. Here, water is clearly seen to emerge from the ground. Part of the magic of springs is the purity of the groundwater they provide after its long voyage through the rock.